She has an opinion now. She's like, no, I'm not doing this. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to go straight to saddling her up and doing everything with the saddle on, just because, you know how I was talking, that's like an extra pressure point. So because she's been like all right with all the groundwork without it, we're just going to add this and just have that so she can get like, we can get through it, oops, with this extra little bit. I like that she engages with the saddle pad, and I let her have that moment. Now she got distracted, so I'll just move on to what I'm doing. So here I see how her ears go to that position again. She's blinking now. She seems all right now, but I'll just make sure that she's really okay with it by like testing, can we put the head down? Yep. So she seems all right with that, even if I move it there. So that's good. I don't mind that. And see how I do it from the right. So that's just to balance her out a little bit, as in, you know, because we do everything from the left. I just want to make sure we do some stuff for the right. So here I'll just try and gauge, like, so here she started blinking, just dropped her head just a little bit. Now she's having a look at the saddle, so I'll just wait for that. Just to have her like be part of the experience, I guess, right? Not just me doing something to her, like giving her a little bit of a say, as in, you know, what do you think? I guess some people call it consent. I don't know what you want to call it. So now she sort of goes frozen a little bit, yeah? So I just see if that will help her. So she's pretty good with that. But like even more so, rather than just having her still and dropping her head, I could now just ask her, there you go, just, can you have a look at the saddle? Can you have like, and just sort of make her aware that it's there. There you go. And obviously she won't be like super duper duper relaxed within the first sessions, but if you keep sort of engaging her in the process, she will eventually be, you know, it will be second nature. It's like, oh yeah, that's the saddle, put it on. So now everything else becomes exciting again, like, you know, like, because like the saddle is on, so then all of a sudden every sound becomes a little bit there. She's not too bad. And you just want to just take this really slow in the, like, just in the first things. Saddle, I just don't know where the saddle sits on her. It's like,
yeah, I was gonna ask.
yeah, I'm not the best in like saddle fitting. It's not really my expertise. There is some like actual, like, you know, professionals out there that do saddle fitting and stuff. I know that it shouldn't sit past the last rib, what do you call it, rib bone? No, rib, yeah. You know, which the last rib, which you can usually feel. So hers is right here, so that's good. So if you draw a line up, shouldn't be there, because that's where they have those rib, that like it's less flexible here. And then you want to have shoulder freedom for her to move her shoulders. You don't want to sit it or squish the shoulders because they need to move. Which that's one I'm probably concerned here. So I can feel that the oh my god, I'm losing my language today. The gullet, I think it's the gullet anyway, but it's sitting on the shoulders. So I'm not too concerned, because we're not going to go for a 3-hour trail ride today or do anything. But yeah, that could be problematic, because if you ride her and she can't really move her shoulders, it's like she's going to get very sore. Yeah, so you want shoulder movement there. It's sitting a little bit, I guess it's sitting a bit too much forward, but I can't, because she has a bit of a dip in her back, because I guess her top line is, like they call it the top line, the muscle here is not that developed. So you probably would want to move it back. I'll see if I can move it back a little bit more. I know I'm not helping you getting comfortable with this. No, because there's like a lot of space on her withers here that you probably don't need. So now it's sitting behind the shoulders, but still it's sitting behind the shoulders. But if she'd move her leg back, the shoulder would bump underneath it. So I don't know, but that looks just a little bit better for now, for what we do today anyway. No, she doesn't. So she's not comfortable, right? Like her head's up and she's sort of bracing herself. She's blowing herself up too, like I can barely get it in the first hole. And I'm not overly concerned, because she's still blinking. She's looking around. And that reaction of like, oh, I'm bracing myself, this is uncomfortable, will go away over time, as long as we be attentive to it and not ignore it or shush her down or be like, you can't move. And just like, check in with her every now and then. So I'll just ask her, there you go, just to sort of, have a bit of a look. And I feel like this one really helps because it's almost like I'm forcing her to not ignore the saddle. I'm sort of saying, look at it. And but she seems a little bit more, so remember last time she was like looking at her, like herself, she was like, so right now, see how she's like just looking at something there? So I'll just see if I can get her attention back and let her know that she's okay. What are you doing? So last time she was like looking and it was almost like she wasn't really understand what's going on. Yeah, but now she's braced. She's not 100% comfortable, but she strikes me as in, I sort of know, like I'm like I sort of know the saddle is on now. It's not overly comfortable, but I'm not like saying, what are you doing to me? Okay. I just want to make sure that saddle is, got this in the fourth hole last time, that saddle is on. It's another thing that helps when they blow themselves up like this, and you can't really do it, because if I start working her now, she's going to stop bloating and then the saddle might slip. So I usually just start walking around a little bit in between the saddling process. And just that little walk usually helps them. There you go. Get another hole now. Oh, sort of. There you go. That should be enough for now. Okay. All right. And then I'll basically gonna start doing. All right. I'm trying to think. I might start with the lunging just to get her moving and just to do something, because movement is just good to, I think, for her to not be overly, like she needs to sort of unbrace to move her body. And then I will do the from above work. Just gonna move her halter. So see how that nose bend is very low. So that they have like, how they have like a, yeah, the same with your nose, right? It's like your bone goes only halfway about your nose, and then the rest is like sort of cartilage. So you want to make sure it's on the bone, because otherwise you could hurt her there. But then, see, it's another thing with those rope holders. She almost needs a pony size, I reckon. Is it? So, and then these knots, they actually, I don't say they're cruel, but so behind that bone here is a spot right here where all her nerves ends comes together, and they're all like, there's a big nerve point. So those knots are actually designed to push into them. So you just want to, I mean, if you want to use the rope holder in that way, because they're designed like that, so you want to make sure it sits there. But I don't use the rope holder because of the knots. I'm more so because the pole pressure is just a little bit more precise, rather than like if you have those big halters, like if they can really like cushion into it, right? Like there's a difference if you have like a big I don't know, like a big band rather than a string, like you could feel that too. It's just a different feel. But yeah, all right, so we're gonna go for so just lunge her and just see where she's at, how she's feeling today. I might lunge her just over here so we're closer to the camera. Is that thing following or not? Yeah. Cool. I'm still filming. You're the cameraman now. Okay, it's not that wet here. It's good. So I'm going to start with the side that so the right side, so that we potentially get this double time in. So she's asking there again. So I like how she's almost a bit fast, but she's moving forward. There, she slows down a little, but she's not losing the forward. I'll just ask her to go out a bit. There, and forward. It's good today. Very good. All right. There. Here we go. So see how braced she is? So that's the saddle, yeah? So I'm just going to try and see if I can keep her moving and find that moment of where she unbraces. There. There. It was tiny. There was like the tiniest little head drop. Like, so I'm not looking for her to be super duper relaxed and lower her head and drag her nose on the ground, because that would be asking her way too much. So I'm asking for increments of relaxation. There, okay. See how I was just waiting for her to relax into the walk, and now we're just going to change directions. So just compare her head carriage to the walk. There. As into the trot. And he's asking all those questions again. So every time she looks into me, I just tell her, no, we'll keep going. Just looking to you too. Can you help? Oh, yes. Okay. So when horses are nervous, they hold a lot of their tension in their rib cage. They literally, yes, nice. So they literally like hold their breath. So when we get this out of her, that's her letting go and being like, you know, letting go of that tension. So I'm just gonna like let her have this moment now and let her like, you know, feel good about this. And I like that it started in the trot. All right. Good. Good. I know, but that's her being just so very sensitive and attuned, and a lot of Brumbies are, because they're so used to scanning the environment and being like, you know, like, whereas horses in captivity, they're a bit like, well, I guess they've been taken care of, you know, they haven't really faced all the dangers of, of true life, whereas these guys just have to, yeah, they need to survive out there. So they need to scan like everything and be so sensitive to every. Yeah, good. All right. Yes. So she really wants to like it's really uncomfortable for her, that trotting with the saddle, and she's sort of really wanting to slow down and stop and, like, you know, maybe stop that sound, you know, of the stirrups flapping against the saddle. And so, and that's what we've been just talking about, like, if I let her do that, like, yes, she sort of can help herself, but like, if I don't keep pushing her into like these uncomfortable spaces, then she won't. She doesn't let me like take her. I need to always be engaged. Then she will never be okay with it, right? So we want to keep pushing this just a little bit all the time, yeah? So when you work with your horse, I mean, there's a difference if you just want to go for a trail ride and it's just a feel-good moment. But when you're training a horse, you want to have a level of difficulty. You want to have those moments where you think, stuff's gone wrong, and then work through it, because otherwise you don't learn, right? I compare it with, like, when I work with my teenagers, that if your math teacher keeps asking you what's 1 + 1, what's 1 + 1 every day, you're not going to learn. You're not going to get better. You need to be challenged to get better. And challenge for them is, I mean, you can train them for competition, but her challenge right now, what we want to do is, like, we want to challenge her to be heightened and to be stressed in a little bit, in a way, and then calm down and be okay with that. So we want to widen that window of tolerance, yeah? Okay. So she's like very different still on each side, yeah? So this side, she can let go. She can be sort of okay with it. And on the right side, she's still very nervous. So see, the head comes straight up. Come on. Yes. So she's freezing there, yeah? She's choosing to like, yeah. Good. Good. Yeah, good. So because she froze, I had to go back all the way back to just getting one step out of her. Yeah, good girl. Good girl. Good, yes. Did you see how she dropped her head just a smidge? Not much. There, good. So she's really determined to stop it, yeah? Which is also a normal horse thing, or like, because they're actually not, they're not lazy, but they're meant to conserve their energy. They're not meant to like run around all day. They graze and then they conserve their energy, so when a dangerous situation would come up, that they have enough energy to then fly and run away or protect themselves. All right, I'm going to do one more time on this side. Yes. Yes. There. So it's just testing if I no, it's not going to work with her. I was going to see if I can see, that's one of those moments where you think now she's going to learn something that, you know, we'll work on it later. But I just want to tell you my thought process. So because she's so uncomfortable in trotting and wanted to stop, I wanted to see if I can bring it up a notch even more, so that I can release her into a normal trot, if that makes sense. So like push that threshold up even a little bit more, so that I can then release her into the trot, so that she finds release in the trot rather than waiting for her to do it, to like sort of stress her a little bit more. But I think it's it's like too much for her. No. So even that, how she chooses to, like, I'd rather go the other side. Oh. So she chooses to trot here, so I'm going to let her, because that's what I wanted her to do all the time, right? I'm not going to be particular if she chooses to or if I tell her to. Oh, see, that scares her, like that energy. So, and it wasn't like an aggressive energy. It was like, come on, can we move up? So I'm just going to see. Come on. There. She looks pretty, doesn't she? She's worried about the poo there too. So I'm trying to come back there, but Ooh. All right. Yes, you're a good girl. So I deliberately brought that up a little bit, and I felt like in the end, the way she was moving, I don't know how to, like, she moved with a little bit more of like, it wasn't panicky as in I'm gonna run for my life. It was definitely elevated, it wasn't relaxed, but she was actually carrying herself really nicely, like almost like in a proud way. And did you see how she lifted her legs? Yeah, so it was a different kind of movement, and she almost like owned it. She was like, like, and that's why I was like, all right, I'm just gonna let her do this, because even though she doesn't get fully relaxed with the saddle, so when I drop the head and they like, go that forward downward movement, she moved in a way that wasn't panicky and like, I'm gonna brace myself like this. Like, it wasn't like this, like when you put your head like her underneath. It was more of like, I'm pulling myself up and I'm moving, I'm doing this. So I think that was good for her as a milestone for today, you know what I mean? Like, even though it was totally unexpected, and like I was definitely pushing her, yeah, like I was definitely making her really uncomfortable and pushing her like sort of there. But if we don't push and if we don't like, have those hard moments, then we're just gonna flatline. And like, so now she's like, we will see what happens next time. Like, does she did she take something from it or not? And knowing that she can like, calm down now and like have the yawns and stuff just tells me that she's like, like, yes, she was definitely high, but she's not internalizing or holding it. She's like, able to let it go. And which is also, when you had a good run, like, it feels good too. So yeah, now I'm happy with that. I'm going to leave it there because I don't want to flood her and like push her beyond recovery. If I would have flooded her, I think she would stand here now internalizing and going into like real conservation and being like, ugh, I'm gonna die. Okay, but she's like, that was a lot, but all right, we've done it. I can let go now. And that's what she's doing, and that's good. So what I'm gonna do now is like, I'm just gonna see if I can work. Well, first of all, I'm going to tighten the saddle now because we're going to get another hole now. So even though she's looking at that tractor now, see how she can like notice that I'm walking over here? And she's like, it's a different concern. It's more of like an awareness, like, oh yeah, there is a tractor, rather than, there's a tractor, I need to run. And the way we can test also if it's I'm completely off my head and I can't, like, this is really worrying me. It's like, how quick can you get their attention back? And if I can walk here and see she's like, oh, like it's on a loose, right? There's nothing, I'm just walking here. And she's like, oh yeah, I got to come with you. So that's a really good test to know, like, they're allowed to look, right? Like, we get distracted sometimes. Like, I think it's not fair to pretend or to want them to be 100% focused on us all the time. Like, it's just not realistic. So, but how quickly can we get their attention back? And like, how quickly are they tuned in? Like, can I walk away on a loose lead and she is like, all right, I'm with you. Yes. Okay. And the same with the riding. Yeah. If you go for a trail ride, they're allowed to have a look. Like, it's fun for them too to go out. But like, how quickly can we go left? Can we go right? And they're like, oh, okay, we'll do this. So that's great. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to see if this, what do you reckon is more stable, the fence or this? I actually might use the fence because then I'm higher even. I use that as a step. So what I'm going to do is so we've noticed that she has a bit of issues with stuff being on top of her. So I'm literally going to climb the fence and be high, try and be somewhat safe too, to not if she like, I'm gonna come up high, and then I'm just gonna see if I can do a few things. So right now I'm just gonna ask her there to do a hind quarter yield. So the same sort of things we've done on the ground. I'm just gonna see, like, can I? So I'm just gonna let her walk away from that. I'm not gonna follow her. So it's the same sort of principles, but I'm just gonna do it all from up here, just to, you know, have her be used to that. There, yeah. Good girl. Good girl. Now she notices the saddle again. Just gonna see if she can come a little bit closer. And then you just want to have, like, you know, you want to sort of see if you can talk to her, but also make this feel comfortable and safe for her. So now I'm going to see if I can keep her head on me. So I'm going to have her quite short and see if I can. So that does, yeah, that's good. Good girl. Good girl. Let's see the other way around. Yes. She did the same thing again. Remember what she did? Like I'm going to have a look at this. Yeah, good girl. And I'm just going to see, I'm just going to get rid of the flag for a minute. Just because we haven't done a lot of flag work from the ground, as in putting it up high, but I'm just going to see. Good. I'm going to look at the flag now. Hey, sweetie. Hey, sweetie. And she might choose to. I'll just see. I hold her at the front, and then I'll just ask her to move over. And I'll see if I can get inch by inch a little bit further down her back, pretty much. But she like, so she's just gonna put me in front of her now, like, instead of letting me. Yeah, good girl. Good girl. So I just make this uncomfortable whenever she's facing me this way. I'm just gonna make this uncomfortable for her, like by putting the flag out. And then whenever she comes here, I release, and we have like pets, so that becomes the good sport. Good girl. Yeah. I'll just ask her to move forward. Oh, good girl. Good girl. Now I'm like almost too high. Good girl. And just give her scratchies and make this a good girl. So now she's putting her bum away. That's okay. So I'll just ask her, can you come this way? Yeah. Good. So I just don't want her to get worried about the flag. So I'll just take the flag there. So I just won't let her. So see how she's trying to avoid? So I just won't let her. So I'll just keep asking to keep moving and give her the chance to. Yeah, what a good girl. Not too long, but that's okay. It was more than. So now I'll just need. Oh, good. So her being able to do that is great. Like, you know, letting down. Good girl. And I'll just give her a scratch here. Gonna see, that might be tricky for her now. I'll just see. Good. If I can. So I would not do that if we wouldn't have practiced this on the ground, yeah? There, what a good girl. What a good girl. Yeah, because I know we've practiced this on the ground and she knows sort of what to do with herself now when it gets uncomfortable. So you want to really have that in mind, yeah? But this obviously gives me an opportunity now. So if I hold her head, she can't go forward, she can't go backwards. So that gives me an opportunity now to make this uncomfortable here. There, and then release her next to me. Yeah. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Okay. And I'll try the other side. I'll just bring her head. You're a good girl. Well done. And again, I'll try to use more so rhythmic pressure. So I don't ask her where to be with the lead rope. I'd rather, you know, let her make certain choices. Yeah, like right now, I mean, I do hold her with the head, but I'm not trying to pull her around. I'm just gonna. Yeah, good. That could be, if we would have not practiced this, like, don't just jump on a fence and do that, because she could jump up. Yeah, but like I can.
Yeah, no, she's a very different horse from the start.
Yeah. So just want her to figure this out. Good. 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 So she was really, and you got to gauge how much pressure. Like, there could have been a possibility that she chooses to jump if she gets really that worried. So that's why you want to do all this from the ground, and you know that she sort of can find a solution. Like, I wouldn't just do this with any horse. So here she runs into the pressure, so to say. Yeah, good. Yes, good girl. See how she chose, like, oh, I think that's the good spot here. Even without the pressure, she's like, oh, maybe that's the comfortable spot here. It's a little bit tricky because, like, I'd rather her like be released, like really drop this. Yeah, yeah. Now we can work in our favor that she loves bum scratches. Yeah, so you just want to make this a good spot. And I'm going to stop here now, because that was like, you know, whenever I feel like I've hit a threshold and we touched on something that's hard and we work through it, that's enough for a day. Like, I don't need to rehearse and make it like, you know, I always want to, like, every session I want to find where that threshold is, where she gets uncomfortable, work through it, and then move on. Because otherwise you start nagging them and your expectations are getting too high. So now the only thing I'm going to do now is I'm not going to jump off straight next to her, because I don't want to scare her. So I know that she feels safe in that position where she faces me. So I'll just ask her to come back to that position so she can see me with two eyes. And then I'll climb down slowly. I'll go back a little bit. There we go. Wonderful.